right, so boys and girls, when I call your name, don't forget you're going to need an apron today and you're going to need a pencil. So when you get to your table, the very first thing you're going to do is write your name on the back. After you finish writing your name, turn it over to the front and you're going to begin using your new artist tool, a stencil. So a stencil is something we trace around to make the shape of something. And today our stencil is inspired by Andy Warhol's flower paintings. I'm going to show you how I'm going to use my stencil to create repetition in my artwork here. All right, so I'm going to place the stencil inside one of my rectangles. But actually, you know what? I need to tell you this first. Before we work on our flower paintings, we need to make sure we have finished our hand paintings. You will know your hand painting is finished when the inside of each hand is painted and the outside rectangle is painted as well. Then, as you can see here, I have some handprints on top of my hands. Those are done with the help of some of our big kids, which will be walking around helping you guys do this step. While you're waiting for them to do this step with you, after you have finished this picture, you're going to work on this one. So, taking my stencil, I'm going to put it in the center of my paper. Now, stencils are not to draw on, so I'm not drawing on this paper here. I'm going to draw my edges around it. So, with one hand, I hold it in place super still, and with the other hand, I trace around it. Notice I'm going all around my edges, and I'm going super slow. Oh, I gotta move my hand. My hand was in the way. Now I have my flower in the middle of this rectangle here. I'm gonna do that 3 more times. Now that I have my flower stencils traced, I'm gonna put this stencil back in the middle of the table because I'm sharing them with my table members. They might need to use it too. Then I'm gonna take my brightly colored paints over here, inspired by the bright paints we see in Andy Warhol's paintings, and I'm gonna paint the inside of my flowers first. So going slow and careful, I'm gonna fill in my flower shape. Once I get this flower painted, I'm gonna do my other 3 flowers and I'm gonna switch colors every time. I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. Now that my flowers are painted, all different colors, I'm gonna pick some colors to put in the background. I wanna pick a color that's not the same color as the color inside the flower. So I don't wanna paint this one red and the background red. I'm gonna switch it up. So I'm gonna choose green instead. I'm gonna paint around my whole flower all the way to the edge of the folded rectangle. Then I'm gonna pick different colors to put behind these flowers as well. All right, so my final step was to take a black crayon from the material table and outline my flowers and even add details around them to make it look more like a flower. Don't worry if you don't get to that step, it's okay if you just painted it today. Today we learned about repetition and using stencils to make our shapes. Have fun.